we understand there are different types of students here. For example, some students who are motivated and they are doing quite good. How would you further motivate them to learn English?
I think with an able student who is willing and keen, I think the best approach is always to stretch and challenge them, introduce them to new areas of literature that they haven't seen before. For example, Shakespeare, okay, for example, poetry. Get a handle on their interests, what makes them tick, you know, and use their particular interests to ask them to plan presentations, to have discussions, to write information guides and sheets on. You know, keep providing them with extra material, harder material, asking them to essentially to challenge themselves to improve still further.
But we understand not all students are that motivated. So for some students who are not motivated but they are willing to listen to instructions, what are your approaches?
So that's a very good question. You know, I think fundamentally, kind of touching back to what I was saying about the more able students and more willing students, some of the same ideas apply. I think my way in with students who are perhaps less motivated is again to find their particular interests, find what makes them tick. For example, a recent tutee of mine was you know, he knew he had to learn English, he wanted to go to university in America, etc. But he didn't really enjoy the language, he wasn't particularly interested. However, he was a massive basketball fan. So the moment I asked him to do a little bit of research into American basketball, into the NBA, to actually put some presentations together, to plan some things, suddenly he realised he'd actually be able to enjoy America a lot more, enjoy basketball a lot more, if he understood that vocabulary. So we focused on learning vocabulary initially that was relevant to his particular interests, and then from that we then moved on.
We always know that there are some students which is really challenging. For those who are not motivated and not willing to listen to instructions, is there anything you can do?
Yeah, there is. I mean, I don't think there's ever such a thing as a kind of a hopeless child, a child who can't be helped. But equally, you know, in my career and in my life, I've come across many students who, for one reason or another, are unwilling to work or find things particularly difficult. Now, the way that we approach the situation is firstly try to actually find out what makes that student tick, what the problem is. Okay, we do that as a team effort. Okay, we use our wonderful team here at Leo Tuition. We use our teaching assistants to communicate with the student, with their parents, between the tutor and the student and the parents, to actually to actually set down some rules and some boundaries and some guidelines. Whether that is, for example, chasing up on the student doing their homework, or whether that's making sure the student turns up to the sessions on time, or whether that means just asking the student just to listen a little bit more carefully to what the tutor is asking them to do, and making sure they stick to that.
Thank you very much, Matthew.
That's all.